Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Competition Archery Media at the TRU Ball Pro-Am, London, Kentucky. We're here for another episode of Mathews Shot of the Week. Chris Perkins is our Mathews Pro today, known pro. Chris, 18 up today. Pretty good.
Not terrible, but also probably not right there at the top either. But I'm happy with it. I'm kind of working on some things throughout this year, kind of struggling a little bit at the same time, but I think we're making some positive changes, and so we're working our way there slowly.
Yes, and some of those changes we're going to talk about because I made some changes as well before this tournament, and I think we're doing some stuff that maybe people think is unconventional. We'll talk about that, but first, we have kind of a nasty target here. Yeah. One that I really hate, but we're going to shoot it anyway.
All right.
Let's check it out.
Let's check it out.
All right, Chris. So here it is. My best friend, the Wolverine, at basically max distance. This is known pro, so we already know the distance.
Yeah.
49.8 yard Wolverine. That's what mine said anyway.
Yeah, if you're going to shoot it for 49.8, you're probably going to be a little tall. Yeah, I ranged it a little bit earlier, and then we also shot it today, obviously. I think it was a small 49 yards. So
small 49.
49.1, 49.2, yeah, short 49, however you want to say it. But yeah, it's a tricky target. It's dark in here. We've got quite a bit of canopy. We have quite a bit of backlighting as well, yes. So it just makes a shot a little more difficult than normal.
So let's talk about the setup, because you changed some stuff for London. Tell folks what you had been shooting and what you're now shooting in your setup. What's different in terms of the scope?
Yeah, so I mean, as far as the scope size, I'm still running the AVX 31. Mm-hmm. So I haven't changed that, and I've shot a small scope pretty much through my entire life. Right. I've tried the larger housing, it just doesn't work for me. And like you said, you would think that a larger housing with this game would be a lot more benefit as far as being able to have a wider field of view. For me, it just doesn't, for whatever reason, I just don't agree with it.
Right.
So, and I've actually gone down to a 4 power for here. Previously running a 6. And what that allows me to see, especially at an event like this where we do have, such a big canopy and it's fairly dark, is running a higher magnification makes the target darker. So there's kind of pros and there's cons to everything. Running the 4X here, I'm able to basically brighten that image up a little bit. I'm able to run a larger peep housing or peep aperture size, which there again also brightens it up. And I can get my pin to basically look how I want it to look with a larger aperture as well, versus the 6. I'm having to run a much smaller peep aperture, which there again creates a darker image.
And what you were just telling me is that with that reduction, you're having to relearn some things.
Yeah, so what I see with a 6 and what I see with a 4 is very, very different in terms of how my pin looks downrange in reference to, say, an arrow down there. So I'm having to stay slightly closer to someone's arrow than I would with a 6 power, just because I don't have that, I don't know if you want to say like depth perception at the target, but I just don't have that larger image, I guess you could say.
Right. And so I knew that you liked the smaller housing, 31. I had the 41, so I was playing with all kinds of stuff. So I had a 29 millimeter, and I thought, let me play with that.
Yep.
And I was, like you said, I always thought I need that big scope.
Yep.
I don't know. I went smaller, and I also went down in magnification. Now I can't see. I tested my 4X next to my 6X. For what I can see, there's no difference.
Well, and that's another thing too. Like I've played with the 41 quite a bit. Like I've played with the AVX 41 and I've played with the 31, which is what I'm shooting. And I have run a comparison with both with 6X and both with a 4X. And quite honestly, the gain that I see over the bigger housing as far as field of view is very, very small. Like, personally, I don't see anything different as far as downrange and field of view than I did with a bigger housing.
Yeah.
The only thing with the bigger housing for me is I can't get my pin to clear up how I want.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So
yeah.
there again, having to run a smaller peep size to get my pin to clear up, I now cut off the outside of my housing.
Right.
So I'm only seeing inside, and it's kind of hard to center up that way.
I like the smaller housing. I don't know if it just makes me focus more, but I put that on there, and all of a sudden I was like, hey, I'm kind of shooting pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. And
So,
612s yesterday at the team.
I shot the team shoot. I shot 10 up, 612s. But now, something else I wanted to talk about, Chris. So that huge confidence that I had yesterday, man, I was killing everything. I came out here, and someone who will remain nameless just for his sake knocked my bow over. And I thought, that's not so bad. But then I went down, I was like, I better go check it. I went down to the bags, and it is jacked. I know my third axis was bent off. I'm pretty sure my second is. Stuff's going everywhere. I almost missed the target. I would shoot one and it would go left and right and all that. But out here with the pros, I mean, that's a problem. It's not a problem for me, because what's the difference?
Yeah.
But for you guys, stuff like that happens. You got to be ready to fix it.
Yeah, so I mean, really the only way that you could see that happen, especially if your bow was knocked over, I mean, we can call a breakdown. I believe we can call one per weekend, and we've got 30 minutes or 45 minutes to fix that. But the nice thing with some of these sites is they actually have indicator marks on your second and your third. So if you want, you can take a white paint pen or a silver Sharpie or whatever and basically mark all that stuff. Me, I don't do that. Probably a good idea now that I say that, but
Mine has them, but I didn't pay attention to where they were.
Yeah, I mean, there again, like that's the thing. We don't really think about having the bows knock over, but I mean, it's definitely a possibility that could happen.
What surprised me was how light of a fall it took to really make things messed up. Like I know now, all of a sudden my sight tape is 5 yards hot. What was hitting 30 is actually now 25. I mean, I moved my sight indicator, so I'm sighted in for distance, but just that fall, 5 yard difference.
You should have just took it out of the limb bolts. That's what I would have done, Don't even bother moving the indicator, just do the limb bolts. But yeah, it doesn't take very much to bump them. So
I wanted to talk about that just for, because that is an element of this game.
Yeah.
I've seen it out here. I'll never forget seeing Tommy Gomez's bow fall over. I saw it fall. It looked like nothing. He got up and shot the target and missed it right, not high or low.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I should have checked that before. He knew it.
Yep.
But, I mean, whatever happened was pretty catastrophic for him.
Yep.
So, all of that I'm saying to give myself an excuse here.
So then if you do hit it, you'd be like, I was aiming back leg, low right in that color change area there. And
I was going to tout my skills as a, emergency bow medic. And say, I got it all back. But quite frankly, I think it'll be luck if I hit it or I miss it.
All right.
We're just going to shoot it and see what happens.
All right.
All right, Chris. So, yes, I said this was max distance. It's 49.
Yes.
And I get it for you guys. That's not max distance. For me, that is.
Yeah.
But 49 yards. So I'm going to set it. Basically, anything over 45 is max distance as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. I mean, it's a small target, so at 49 yards, it is a bit of a poke.
That is a poke.
From the top of you're looking at the upper, so from the top of the 12 to that 8 line is maybe an inch.
So I'm going to call upper.
Okay.
Because I can at least see that line. We've talked about the line before. There's the brown line that's dark brown and light brown.
Yeah, the transition from the two tones there.
Yeah, that I know that lower is down in that dark brown, but I don't know where.
Yeah.
So anyway, gives me some aiming reference.
And they don't help you with the backdrop here either.
No, they don't.
No.
So that's, one of the things about this. I mean, this target, when I was walking down the lane, I walked right past it. It looks like a log. It's surrounded by brown stuff.
Yep. Yeah, they haven't. The only thing that can make this target possibly worse is completely silhouetting the whole thing.
Yes.
Like just sun behind it, and then what also doesn't help you here is we're getting a little bit of a breeze, so the leaves are moving, so shadow spots and sunspots are waving all over the things. So,
all right, I think I got my mark there. One thing is the center area is shot up, so you can see the brown extends up.
Yeah.
Where they've shot a bunch of 10s.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna aim right in the middle of that.
all right.
I know the 12's in there somewhere.
Yeah. Just right on the 10 at 3 o'clock half shaft. So not bad for height, just a little right. But hey,
I'll take that.
Last year it was a 5 in the leg, so I mean you're already +5 on this one from last year.
So one of the things I noticed in my breakdown was, well, I think my second axis is off. And I kept shooting to the right. No matter what I did, I'd move the sight, I'd still shoot to the right.
Mm-hmm.
And so this one went a little bit right, but a 10 on the 49-yard wolverine after dropping my bow.
When it looks like that, take
calling victory.
Yeah, there's a victory on that one for sure. Yeah, it is awful looking. But yeah, you can see where like that shot out area kind of points up to it for the upper 12. Yeah, you're full shaft in at 3 o'clock. So I'm gonna go upper. Hopefully do what I did in my scoring round. But if not, well, you know, it is what it is.
It looked like the right area.
Almost inside out.
Oh, jeez. I think you've done that every time we've shot. It doesn't matter the target or the distance. You like donut those things.
I wish I could do that on all of them in my 20 targets. You guys might just have to follow me around.
I wish you could see what this target looks like with the lighting, because that is a shot. 49 yards. I don't care that you shot it before. That's a shot. Let's go show them where
all
it
right,
is.
let's go take a look.
All right, Perkins. There she is. Boom. 49 yards. That's insane. I don't, like I said, known distance, I don't care. That's a shot.
Yeah, small target, hard to look at. Not much really to look at when you have all of this stuff behind it, and you know, not to mention obviously the canopy again that I keep mentioning. And
let's see here. So if I'd have been straight over, I think I still would have caught it.
You had impeccable height. Impeccable height.
So we were talking, one of the things, like I said, 4 power, 6 power, doesn't matter. I'm not going to see any more of this target. I can't see it. But I was saying, one thing I definitely notice is less pin movement at 4, which makes me feel more comfortable.
Yep. Yeah, so like for me, I'm very big on what my image looks like and how much my image actually moves. For me, going to the 4, I can actually get it to stop.
Yeah.
So it just makes everything much easier. The shot goes way smoother. Everything just feels a lot better. My shot timing stays more consistent. Today, actually, it's a little uphill along this entire 20 targets. So kind of taking away flat ground and adding some elevation both up and down, for me being a hinge shooter, can cause some longer shots or some longer processed shots. And running a 4 power, it just makes my brain have less work, it seems. So shots break smoother, and you know, in the end, should be better results.
Hinge, and we should mention, Hinge. We're Hinge brothers.
Yes.
I'm shooting the executive.
Yeah, you are shooting a old one. But
I like that.
Yeah.
Mine's the prototype.
Yes. Yeah. Mine has seen its paces. I think this would be 2 years or a better part of 2.5 years of shooting this exact one. So
it definitely
put it
works.
through the ringer, that's for sure. So
it's a TRU Ball release.
It
We're
is
out
a TRU
here
Ball
at the TRU
release.
Ball Pro Am.
Yep.
Chris, We got a 12 and a 10, 49-yard Wolverine. I'm saying victory, man.
We'll take it.
All right, folks, that is another episode of the Mathews Shot of the Week. Thanks for joining us.